loves, it's G here from Golden Thread Tarot. How are you doing today? I'm here to bring you another channeled message. Excuse me, I'm sorry, you guys might be able to hear it because I have my window open. You guys know how I live out in the country and my neighbors are outside. Pop, pop, they're shooting off. So I know that anytime that happens, somebody's having some anger issues in the collective, okay? I'm not saying it's you. It could be somebody you're connected to. I'm not sure. Okay. Somebody here is feeling trapped. I feel like somebody's feeling trapped and they're feeling like it's not fair that you don't feel trapped as well. Or that you're feeling like you're moving on. Or they're like something along the line. Some of y'all might be dealing with some energies that are like that, okay? Like, just to be honest about it. I'm also playing a heart chakra meditation here in the background. Actually, let me turn it down, make sure it's not playing too loud over me. I just want to kind of it playing in the background. We're going to pull some cards here from the Seed and Sickle. See what kind of overall energy of what Spirit wants to talk about today. Also, I've been feeling kind of low energy today, you guys. Nothing bad. I don't feel sick or anything like that. I just feel kind of like, ooh, like energy. For me, it feels like energy is neutralizing. And maybe that's the way they kind of feel. Maybe some past energy. It's kind of like a transitional energy, it feels like. It feels like rest up a little bit. So if you've been guided to rest up for a few days, just rest up. Take your time. Take the time that you need. It's fine. It's going to be okay. Exactly. I knew that. There's that bramble. Okay, bramble is about protecting yourself, protecting your energy for the oncoming battles that are coming forward. This doesn't have to mean that, you know, you're just gonna have a bunch of BS in your life or anything like that, right? It doesn't mean that you're having a bunch of karmic battles, but it does mean that your energy is really being guided to kind of rest up before you move forward to the next stage. Okay, and absolutely, Verbena is right here as well. So 44, the number 44, the number 42 might be significant for you. Oh, so Verbena is breaks down to 6 and then 8, right? So balancing things out. The number 8 is also about the universal law of attraction, right? So so the energy that you're putting out is the energy that you're getting back, kind of energy. But there is this sense of somebody here, yeah, they're mad. Somebody here might not be very happy about what energy they're getting back, right? And there is this sense here, that with this verbena is about, it's a card of reconciliation, but it's a card of standing your ground during reconciliation and making sure that your side of the story, or that your voice is heard, right? Just because you're coming to a reconciliation with somebody does not mean that you just have to bend to their will, or a person comes to you and they're like, I want this, and this, but several of those things are things that you're not willing to compromise morally, or that just don't fit in with you, right? And you're just like, well, you know, maybe we're gonna have to go back and forth to find some compromises. So some of you might be dealing with somebody who is very unyielding in their mindset. They want to come back towards you, but they want to do it on their terms only. And it doesn't necessarily it feels very much so a sense of a person might be coming back towards you wanting some kind of reconciliation, but they're only thinking about their side of the story. They're only thinking about their side of things. Like, it's giving me a very like, it isn't fair. It isn't fair, and you should just be giving me what I want kind of energy. I don't know. This is weird. It's a weird energy here. So there is definitely this energy of protecting your energy. Yeah. And I also had to do some meditation with some gold stone, okay? So doing some meditation with some gold stone, it's a great stone. I did some meditating with it to help bring up my motivation and my energy so I could do this reading for you guys today. Yeah. Also, I cried earlier. I just cried. I was just laying there, but I just started crying. And I was like, you know what? I need this. But I noticed that I kept trying to tell myself, okay, that's enough, stop crying. And I'm like, why? Why? So make sure that you're not denying your own emotions. Make sure that you're not understanding that sometimes allowing yourself to kind of process some of the things. A lot of us went through a lot of really heavy things in 2021, and it's okay to allow yourself to cry over them or to grieve the loss of something, right? Spirit is really getting into grieving the loss of something and being okay with that, right? It doesn't have to be your whole world. It's, you know, there's a difference between sitting around and crying about it and stewing in it and never moving on from it, and then just allowing yourself to grieve and then be able to move on to the next part of the process, right? But for some of you, you might feel like you can't move on from a situation because somebody's really holding on to your energy. Like, Yeah, look at that person just like reaching out, holding on. Like, it's giving me that kind of energy. Some of you with this chamomile right here, some of you might be really being guided to like drink some chamomile tea or drink like some soothing something for like your throat chakra. I definitely was doing some when I was crying earlier. I was just focus on release, focus on release. Ask yourself why you're crying. Face the things that you're crying about, or face the difficulties that you had. Say that it's okay. Just because you allow yourself to cry over something that was hard or was difficult or was really emotionally taxing doesn't mean that you're failing, doesn't mean that you're weak. Allow yourself to just face those feelings and say it's okay, right? It's okay. It's okay to release. It's good to release and let things go instead of holding on tight. And there were several things that came up when I was crying that I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I was kind of still upset about that, or it was something that was still in my mind. So some of you might need to do that. 555 down on the clock. Wow, 555 down on the timer clock, and then 444 down on the real time clock as I'm recording this. Wow, that's so funny. Yeah, and here with the mushroom. Oh yeah, here with the mushroom. Okay, the mushroom can be about overworking yourself and coming to a place where you need to recognize, where you need to kind of get your energy together because you've been pushing yourself beyond, and not. It's like you're burning yourself out. It's like heading straight to burnout, right? And understanding that okay, there are some things that instead of, it's kind of giving me this feeling of spirit saying, oh, there are all these things that you still need to worry about. You're like, but I have so much else to worry about, so I'll just keep on pushing on and keep on pushing on and keep on pushing on and not addressing that and not addressing that because there's time for that later. There's just so many other things that I need to address. I need to push on, push on, push on. And spirit, it's kind of getting to a point where it's like, hey, you are stressed. So it's like this over here, it's got your energy and you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and the tension is getting higher and higher and higher. And spirit is saying you either address it or you're gonna snap back kind of energy is what it's getting me. And when you snap back, you are going to experience like a really big kind of like burnout, like this energy of burnout. So be careful with that, okay? Make sure that as you're going along, you are addressing the big things as well as the small things, right? Make sure that you're not just kind of allowing something to kind of grow crazy in the background without your knowledge, like this clover, right? Clover kind of grows and takes over where it's planted, right? And there is kind of this sense of concentrating so hard on growth, it's like not acknowledging something. Okay, well, let's pull let's pull a card for the overall feeling after I've been talking about this for like 8 minutes. But there are some other things that Spirit just wanted me to talk about too. So what's a card for the overall energy of this reading, please, Spirit? Oh, we got 2 cards. So we got Rose, okay. Rose is also about protection. It's about a miracle too. Well, it depends on what book, the Dawn or the Dusk book in this that you pull from. The key, right? The key. Some of you are about to have like something's about to happen, and it's about to just make everything kind of just like consolidate and like make sense. That's what I'm getting. Some piece of information possibly. Okay, the number 40, the 41, which is the rose. Okay, which is the number 5, right? And then 8, the number 8 again for Ivy, which is 35. All right, I actually haven't pulled Ivy yet, so let's look it up. I love these books. Yes, that's so funny because we have to, and I just opened up to the feverfew, right? Where I was saying that person was reaching out for your energy, right? It's kind of what I was getting off of this. The first few lines, something unwanted is coming your way and you'd best be advised to avoid it. Okay, right? So there could be somebody that's unwantedly pulling on your energy, that's kind of trying to like reestablish themselves or kind of like show back up in your life. Okay. Ivy, you're almost there. Just a little further. Yeah. There is no height that can be reached in your journey, that can't be reached in your journey to find the sun. The climb might be impossible at times, and occasionally you'll feel as though you're making no progress at all, as walls and buildings block your path. But slow growth is still growth, and your achievements will will be all the sweeter for how difficult the climb has been. Don't give up. Yeah, right? So there is this feeling of it's okay, right? It's okay if sometimes you're rushing forward and sometimes you are taking the time to really do things, in slow little steps. It's okay, right? Don't compare your time period to anybody else's, right? Yeah. It's this really big sense that you can keep going. You can do it, right? But there is something along the way that you need to address. I'm feeling that as well. The rose belongs to the Lady of Miracles herself, the Virgin Mary. Rosaries even get their name from the rose hips they were originally made from. If you've drawn this card, a miracle of your own is on the way. Perhaps that creative block is about to lift, or you're about to make major headway on a problem that's been plaguing you. Either way, things are about to change for the better. Make sure that you're ready to take advantage of it and get back on track. Okay, I get why somebody's mad in the background now. Like, sis, you taking off. Sister bro, you taking off. That's what's happening. So, you might have been feeling like you were dealing with a lot of obstacles, very like Knight of Pentacles energy, a lot of obstacles getting thrown in your path, a lot of like, why? Drudging along. Why does it feel like this? That energy is going to change, okay? You got something coming your way that's going to kind of, like I said, make you kind of snap back. That snap back. So like, okay. Why did I just hear that snap back to reality? There goes gravity. Yeah. So there might be a situation coming your way where you kind of have this realization, right? That, oh shit, it's okay. It's okay if I've taken longer than other people in my life thought I should have. It's okay if I feel, I don't want to say it's okay, but it's like you might have been dealing with friends, family, people that aren't people that were put in your path, right? Or people that are not on your path, right? People, we've been talking about that in the collective, right? You might have been really faced. This was really big in the fire sign divine feminine um reading that I did with these same cards too, right? That you might have been really faced with obstacles on your path, and some of those obstacles might have been the very people that you really wanted to love and support you and be there for you. And it might be really hard for you to it might be really hard for you to allow yourself for those things to not like hold you back, right? And I think that's what it is. There is that something that you have not been addressing, and spirit saying, hey, it's okay. Don't persist and pull yourself forward in toxic positivity, right? It's okay to address that shit, this has been hard. It's okay to address that maybe in some ways there are some things maybe you disappointed yourself about in the past. It's okay, and I know this might be a kind of triggering statement, but let me kind of explain why I'm saying it this way, right? It is okay in some ways if you have disappointed some people, right? Because some people weren't given your vision. And I know that it can be a really heavy burden to feel like you are jumping off the path that your friends, that your family have, we're watching you go down, or we're seeing you go down, or them in themselves, they put, all the expectations of what they thought your path would look like onto you, right? So some of you have been forging through that thinking, okay, I'm being really, and I'm not saying that you haven't been being strong, right? But there is a strength in acknowledging some of your weaknesses as well. There is a strength in acknowledging the things that might be holding you back, and subconsciously not acknowledging some of the things, some of the ways that you felt like, well, I wish I could have done that better. I wish I could have done that better, but it happened the way that it did. So let me let go of any of the failures or perceived failures that I had in 2021 and kind of allow a new energy to come in, right? Allow this new energy to shift. But to allow that, you have to acknowledge and let go of some of those, kind of disappointments that you dealt with in 2021. right? You might be disappointed in that you didn't reach some of your goals, or that things aren't building. Like if you were building a business, maybe it's not taking off as fast as you hoped that it would, or you're struggling, financially or something like that, a little bit more than you wish that you were, right? But it's important for you to acknowledge those things, to be like, damn, I wish it was a little bit different, but it's gonna be okay, right? But that it's gonna be okay doesn't need to trump over your feelings of disappointment or your feelings of sadness. You need to be able to let yourself feel those. I'm not saying linger in those feelings, but so much time in the spiritual community, we hear people say, stay positive, think on the positive side, think about all the good things, right? And that can get toxic. Yes, it is important in general, for most of your thoughts to be about good, positive things. But there is nothing wrong. You can't do shadow work without thinking about some of the fucked up shit that's happened to you in your life, without thinking about or addressing or dealing with some of your disappointments, some of the times that you were angry, some of the times that you're like, I wasn't being that high vibrational when I did that or when I said that, and I wish I had handled it differently, But there comes a time when you have to look at that stuff too, right? Like I said, sometimes it's good just to allow yourself to sit there and release, And when I was sitting there and I was crying, I kept asking, why are you telling yourself to stop crying? Why are you telling, okay, suck it up. You got to get, you got to go do this. You got to go do that. I'm like, whoa, this part of sitting here allowing myself to process my emotions is just as important as getting up and filming a reading. Is just as important on my journey as getting some other work done. It's just as important, because that work loses its meaning if I am not doing the emotional work behind it, right? And it wasn't until after I did it that I realized how much I needed to acknowledge some of the things that I was crying about. How much I needed to acknowledge some of the disappointments that I had in things that turned out to not be what I thought they were. And it was so important for me to do that. The reason that I'm bringing it up is not just talk about myself, but to say, right? Don't allow yourself to get caught up in toxic positivity of everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, and not address some of the more, low vibrational things that are happening to you, because in that way you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're, kind of glossing over all the lessons, or all the kind of knowledge that you can be extracting out of those moments as well. This life is not just about praising all the good moments and burying all the bad moments, right? It is also about embracing the bad with the good, right? And embracing it all as a part of life, right? Because I'm really being drawn here to how this artist chose to black, right? The bad, the good with the bad, the dark with the light, right? The shadow and the light at the same time, right? And to understand that all the obstacles that you dealt with on this process moving forward will make the journey all the more sweet when it comes about. Yeah, 5 of Cups, right? Sometimes it's okay to temporarily, for a few hours or for a day, to allow yourself to be in this energy, not to stay in this energy, but it's important. It's impossible to say that everybody is all love and light and has no regrets and live your life with no regrets and do all that. It's not possible, right? But you can get as close as you can, right? And yeah. All right, let's get more into it. Yeah, what did I say? Look at this. Well, hello. 9 of Pentacles, right? 9 of Pentacles turn into that what? King of Pentacles. Look at that. Hello? Right? Get in that grounded energy, right? The Knight of Pentacles is the only one that for sure 100% turns in to the King, right? And see how it's like the younger man version of this person, and now this person has aged and they have the, like the graying or the white hair, the silver hair, silver fox, right? Right? And they're here looking back on themselves like, I did start back here, right? Then I had to go on this journey. See how this kind of like is around this person, and see how in this one they're like in the zone, right? This person had to climb up, right? All these hills, all these obstacles. Sometimes it was easy, sometimes it was hard. Sometimes they had to yeah, it's giving me this very, up and down, making it through the obstacles, slowly taking your time, and that's okay. Taking those little steps, step, right? Up to getting here, to the King of Pentacles. Right? Now, these are just cards, right? You don't have to be a masculine energy, or you don't have to be identify as being a man, right? To identify as being this energy right here, right? But definitely, right? As you look back, you'll understand. Wow. As you're making it here, right, to the King of Pentacles here, you're going to be able to look back and go, yeah, I see, right? I see that all the obstacles that I matched and that I met made it all the more sweeter that I got here, right? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Six of Wands. Victory. And I did see the Queen of Wands in reverse back there, so there is some kind of karmic energy playing around here as well. Somebody that's a little codependent on somebody. Okay. Princess of Wands. Somebody's getting some good news. This rosary. What is this? What is this good news coming in here? Hmm. Somebody, okay, somebody has been feeling a very heavy burden here because they felt like they misjudged the situation, or they felt like they were misjudged in a situation. So this is like somebody accusing you to do something and you're like, I didn't do it. I promise I didn't do it. And like people that you thought were going to be on your side were like, I bet you did do it. And you were like, what the hell? Like, what? I didn't do that shit. That's not me, right? Somebody here has been carrying a lot of burdens here, right? Due to that, feeling misjudged in a situation, feeling like they got the blame in a situation when, it's like, I wasn't at fault here, right? And for some of you need to know that King of Swords, somebody's coming up and stepping forward and telling the truth in this situation to kind of clear, it's kind of like a clear your name kind of energy here. For others of you, you've felt a very heavy burden and you've been being very hard on yourself because you misjudged a situation. Now, this could be for some of you. I know we've talked about in the collective how some of you might have been confusing, if you felt like you were on a journey towards a soulmate, or towards a twin flame or something like that, that was playing around in the background, that there was somebody that you misjudged, that you mislabeled. Okay, some of you, you just need to face this and understand that everything has its place on this journey, right, to teach you your lessons, and you don't need to be so hard on yourself, right? Or maybe perhaps some of you are kind of looking back on 2021 in reflection, like, how did I stay with that karmic for so long? Or how did I stay acting like a karmic for so long? How did I stay in my own karmic cycle for so long? Like, you know? And Spirit is saying that this has been a big, huge, heavy burden on yourself that you kind of need to let go, right? Tell me more about this. Tell me more specifically about this Judgment card. Thank you. Okay. Queen of Swords in reverse. For some of you, you feel like somebody misjudged you as a Queen of Swords in reverse. You felt like, okay. For some of you, they might have heard some rumors about you, or somebody might have said a lie about you that really painted you like this Queen of Swords as in reverse, right? And you were kind of like, that's not me. That's not really who I am, right? But I kind of get some of you were kind of got this kind of, well, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck that person. Fuck all those people. If you don't believe me, if you don't trust me, if you don't want to be on my side. And it kind of gave you this very hardened exterior to where you were like, well, fuck you. I don't have to prove myself to you. Blah, blah, blah. And maybe it even kind of made you look a little bit more like this Queen of Swords, right? But not in the way this person was trying to portray you as. They were trying to cast this very much so, very hateful kind of energy onto you and trying to say that this was you, that this was you, that this is who you are, right? But it's taking you some time to understand, right? Forget it. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be who I am, regardless of other people can't see the true me. Which it's kind of like that's their problem, not my problem. It's not my problem to become like some walking, talking, dancing pony show to convince you, right, that I'm not that person. My actions and who I am and how I move and how I take care of myself and I handle myself will be the proof that I need. Let me just back off and remove myself from the situation kind of energy, right? For some of you, like I said, right, there's very two distinct energies coming out here in this collective, right? And for some of you, King of Cups. For some of you, very much so misjudge someone. Misjudge someone that you possibly wanted to be in a relationship with or in a partnership with, business, friend, something like that. And you misjudge this person and you found out that this person is actually very emotionally manipulative, right? And for some of you, this King of Cups in reverse could be this person, right? That spread this rumors about you. But I'm really getting those two distinct kind of stories there. Some of you might be dealing with a mixture of the both, right? One or the other, or a mixture of kind of the both. Could have some BS coming in here, right? This was like past energy, you guys. I'm gonna be, yeah. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Divine timing was not quite right in this situation. That's what I'm really getting out of this. It was a bunch of karmic BS that you had to kind of go through and see. It was obstacles that was put in your way, not to test you, but to teach you, right? It's kind of a situation where, okay, you had a karmic that was particularly nasty and it taught you all the things that you don't want to be in a relationship and that you don't want your partner to be in a relationship. So that when the right person, a person that more matches your energy comes along, or you met that karmic to rearrange your energy, to change your energy, to cause that change in you so that you could actually manifest a much higher vibrational energy, right? Which is this next person that you might be manifesting into your life, or this next opportunity, so that you can recognize what this is, right? You've grown up, right? Maybe when you were a Knight of Pentacles, you would not have recognized this opportunity, or you would not have recognized this person for what they are. But now that you're getting closer to this King of Pentacles energy, you will recognize, right? And dealing with all this kind of made you grow up, right? It made you grow up from that Knight of Pentacles up here to the King of Pentacles. I love that. I love that was that energy, the first energy that came out. Yeah, I'm getting misfortune. It was misfortunate. This whole situation. It's like that. That's a damn shame. It's kind of the energy that I got. That's a damn shame. Like maybe something, because maybe you felt like something was supposed to happen here, but something got in the way and caused it to either get pushed back or to just have to dissolve, right? It's kind of like a situation where perhaps maybe you felt like very attached, or you felt very much so drawn to a particular person or a particular situation, and an obstacle happened here, something happened, maybe not the right time, not the right place kind of energy, like, okay, and you had to learn how to release and walk away and let go. Regardless of whatever the situation was, you had to learn that if something didn't fit into the divine plan, or if something didn't fit into divine time, you just got to let it go. Even if you feel in your soul like something was supposed to happen, or this is not the way the situation was supposed to go, it's important that you learn, okay, I've got to let it go, because it's not really going For some of you, it might be like, no, this is the way that it was supposed to go. But what you were supposed to learn was how to just let go of a situation that's not going your way, not to force a situation when it's not, when it's not serving you. Yeah, exactly. How to let go of a situation that's hurting you more than it's helping you, right? How to deal. For some of you, like I said, this caused a big, for if it was some of you that was dealing with a particularly nasty karmic energy or kind of like a false flame energy or something like that, right? Whoever this emotionally manipulative person was, okay? It caused a lot of heartbreak here, but it caused you to recognize that a person that acted like that, or a person that handled themselves or handled you that way or treated you that way or talked to you that way, or whatever the situation was that happened with you and this person, it was very healing on the other side of it, right? It made you, perhaps maybe it hurts you at a at not, I don't want to say a surface level, but it's almost like this person's pain dug up deeper pain that made you realize, oh, it did hurt me when this person hurt me, but what's really hurting me is this underneath it, right? Yes, it might have hurt me when I figured out that this person that I liked didn't like me back or was being very emotionally unavailable. But what's hurting me more is the fact that, take it back, I'm chasing emotionally unavailable people because blah blah, because this happened or that happened, right, in my childhood or in my past or with past relationships, and now I have these deeper issues, right? So it drug up these deeper issues that you realize was echoing in this situation here, right? And it's kind of this moment where it's like, I see, right? There's that stretching moment, right? That kind of like stretching. I don't have to deal. I don't have to deal. I don't have to deal. Then the situation just snapped you back, and it was like, okay, I do have to deal with this. I do have to deal with this situation. Otherwise, I'm going to be repeating this again and again and again. I do have to heal this deeper hurt inside of me. I do. I need to face it. I need to stop walking away from it. I need to acknowledge it. That way I can actually heal it, right? Mm. So I asked Spirit what this rose, what this miracle was. Look at this. Ace of Cups. Right? That real deal. The real shit. Right? Also getting a lot of like um kind of like reality timeline shifting, like pulling together, right? There were things that you needed to release, to let go of, that were kind of holding you in this karmic cycle. So you needed to learn how to let go of them so that you could hop on to the next cycle, hop on to the next, so that you're, because that mindset or that heartbreak, whatever this was that you were holding on to, right? It was holding you down. It was holding you back. It was stopping you, right? From realizing that shit, these wands aren't strapped to my back. I'm carrying those bitches. I'm holding those bitches. I'm holding that shit on my back. I'm keeping myself by holding these face down, not looking at the sun, right? Not looking at my happiness that I could be having, right? These wands bending you over, holding you down, stopping you from coming to the realization, the deeper realization, right? It's kind of like putting a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches, right? It might give you some temporary relief in a situation here, but you keep, how many band-aids? You're going to go through a whole box of band-aids instead of just go ahead and going and getting the stitches, go ahead and going to the hospital and getting the help that you need. It's like, don't just treat the underlying issue, not just the symptoms, right? I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she was talking about how she's in a situation right now where she is being prescribed antidepressants. And she was saying that her doctor was telling her that if she moves on from being, that she needed to go to her primary care doctor so that they could recommend her a psychologist or psychiatrist, right? The psychiatrist is the one that can actually prescribe, right? Um, but she said that what she could do was recommend her a therapist, right? And I was saying that yes, that many people don't understand that just taking the pills is like a temporary fix. It gets you to the point where you can have enough energy, have enough availability, like an open mindset, get kind of like the edge off so that you can break out of that depression enough to have the motivation to get up, to go to therapy, to be responding in therapy and not despondent, right? So that you're not just too numb, not to feel it, not to, so the therapy is actually what's going to address the actual underlying issues. And the antidepressant is what's going to just kind of treat your symptoms enough for you to be able to effectively deal with the underlying issue, right? Karma, right? A karmic cycle. Somebody was stuck here in a karmic cycle, and that was the underlying issue, right? The issue wasn't, oh, it's all these ain't shit guys or all these fuck boys, they're using me, or it's this, it's this abusive relationship. Those, I don't want to minimize, those are fucked up situations, right? Or it's not all of this, right? It's the underlying issues, right? Somebody here was distracting themselves with the next relationship, or the next thing, whatever it was they were using to distract themselves, pushing forward, while this issue, the underlying issue, was still not healed, right? Not anymore though, right? And I'm so fucking proud of you. It is not hard. It's not easy. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's not easy to finally be like, okay, let me freaking do something about this, right? Let me freaking do something about this. Let me really face this. It's not. All these came up face down, so I'm going to put them back in the deck. Ooh, look at that. Empress. Somebody said, let me get my shit together. Okay, with the star card underneath that. Somebody said, let me get my shit together. Let me heal myself. Okay, let me jump on this chariot and let me go. Let me go to the promised land. Okay? Let me nourish myself. Let me love myself. Let me heal myself. Let me take care of this shit. Let me learn how to emotionally mature so that I can sit there in that sun, right? Somebody is literally sitting here going from the 10 of Wands to an Empress, right? And it's like this Empress energy was here, but this person can never lift their head to see it, right? Because of all those wands, all that baggage. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Dragging all them bags like that, right? I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, is you, is you. Right? Thank you, Erica. Oh, Queen coming through with the energy. Absolutely. Right? There is justice here. For some of you guys, I'm not going to be what's going on here? For some of you guys, I'm going to be honest, okay? There was somebody here. Remember what I was saying earlier about somebody painting you as this person? Okay, justice is coming, okay? Because this person did a really bad injustice to you in the back. That is also something that's going on in the background while you're healing, while you're forgiving, while you're dropping all of this. Something that's going on in the background is an extra bonus, right? To you jumping on that better timeline, for you manifesting that better reality, that more healed state of being for yourself, you manifesting this Empress energy for yourself, right? Something that's really happening in the background is there was somebody, right, who kept trying to tell everybody, no, she's not an Empress, she's this, she's that, that's fake, that's not real, blah blah blah. Justice is coming for that person, okay? Somebody has been trying to use your name throwing dirt on your name, something like that. Okay, that's from the end. Okay, that's 100% about to end. And you might find out. You might find out about it. For some of you, y'all didn't even know who this is. Okay, and it's gonna be like a damn moment for real. But okay, for real. Okay. I don't know why I got so got. Oh, I do know why, but I was just like, I just looked down for no reason because I was like, what's over there? There is a card over here. I didn't even notice that flying over here. Hold up. Hold up. Ugh. It's the Two of Wands. Somebody looking for a direction. Tell me about the sneaky little Two of Wands, right? I said that, right? Looking for which way to go, looking for, and it's just gonna suddenly just boom. Clouds are gonna part, and it's just gonna be like, oh, yeah, that's where I go. That's where I'm going. That's my path forward. Yeah, something was being blocked here. Two of Swords in reverse, but it's being unblocked now. A way is being opened, right? Your eyes are being opened. A way is being opened. You've been looking, which way, which way, which way, right? Lots of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, right, on this path moving forward, right? But it's like there was a gate up here where you couldn't see forward, but now you can, right? Something here is being unblocked and the way is being shown to you. Hmm. Oh, excuse me, that was weird. The Magician and the Hermit card. Something here about isolation. Isolation in the positive way of going inside, looking at yourself, doing this deep work here, right? Doing this, oh, let me identify my deeper wounds here. Is really unlocking this really powerful magician energy inside of you. It's really allowing you to manifest from an unencumbered state, right? When you're in this state right here, whatever you're manifesting, it's just going to be more this right here, right? But when you're manifesting love, right? But when you're manifesting from that healed place, manifesting something quite better, right? Tell me more about this magician right here, please, Spirit. Okay. I'm so being drawn right here to the Moonwork, to this Moonwork card that ended up on the back of the deck here with the key. Number 15. Where did my book go? Well, goodness. Where did my book go? It was literally sitting just right here. Well, you know what? I know where this book is. So I'll pull out of this book instead. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Moonwort. A commonly cited magical property of the moonwort fern is the power to pierce iron. There is said to be a hill in Devon, in the UK, so covered in moonwort that 30 freshly shod horses belonging to the Earl of Essex once lost their horseshoes whilst being ridden across it. Hold up. What? Okay, so there were some horses, and it's so thick. They rode over this hill and lost their horseshoes in the ferns. Okay. Like Moonwort, you can find inside of you the power to conquer any hurdle that stands in your way. You may feel small and easily trampled, but every barrier that stops you from moving forward has its weak points. Embrace your inner strength and find it. Okay. Is this deck talking or is it freaking talking? That's why I love this deck. I've pulled so many times from this deck since I got it. Oh yes. I'm so happy I was guided to get it. Just yes, right? Everything here is about the fact that no matter how slowly other people or even you in your own mind might think that you are overcoming your barriers, it's like stop focusing on the fact of how quickly or how slowly it's moving, how well you're doing it or how efficiently you're doing it, and concentrate on the fact that you are doing it, right? You are doing it, right? And every mistake that you make is an opportunity to learn how to do something better, right? There's this really big feeling of don't let outside people who are unwilling or unable to see your progress make you feel like there isn't progress there, right? Do not let outside people that might not see you for who you really are tell you who you are, right? Know who you are. Know the progress that you have made, right? So much. I've talked about this on the channel before and about my own personal difficulty dealing with this because a lot of my friends and my family are very much so material real world people, and not like I don't have material real world um, evidence that I am improving myself or that I'm getting all kind of background stuff together. What 2021 has really given me has made me stop and realize how much emotional growth and healing that I have done, and it has been amazing. And it has been amazing. And though the world might try to tell you, "Oh, that's great, but oh, did you get this? Did you get that done? Did you get this done? How much money are you making? How much money do you have in the bank? Like, do you have that new car? Do you have your new clothes? But did you do this? But did you do that?" The world will try to make you feel like your accomplishments are smaller than they are, because sometimes we have to acknowledge that so much change has to happen inside first, right? And that's so funny because I have another deck here that I ended up not using, but what ended up being on the back of the deck, transformation, right? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing, right? And then look, awakening is behind that, right? So it's like spirit is wanting you to know that healing has to happen in here first, right? So don't let yourself feel like, oh, my manifestations are not coming about, or I must not be healed enough. I must not be good enough to bring about certain things that are happening for me. Don't allow your ego, or don't allow your fears, or don't allow your doubts, or don't allow other people not being able to say, but I don't see it on paper. I don't see your changes on paper. Don't let, and people might not even be saying that to you. That doesn't mean the energy is not out there, right? So don't let that hold you back from acknowledging how much work you have done, right? Don't let that hold you back from acknowledging how much you have done and how much you will get done in the future. Hi, kitty. But yeah, that's what I'm really getting at. Like, what's this rosary is coming to you? It's this realization that, okay, I needed to slow down. I needed to be exactly where I was when I was right then. Let me stop fighting divine time on what my path is supposed to look like. Let me not judge what my path is supposed to look like by what other people's path looks like. Let me not judge that that, oh, well, if I was healed enough, or if I was doing it the right way, I should have this done already and that done already because so and so has that done already, or so and so has this done already, right? Allow yourself to open up, to heal, to do what you need to do at your own pace and in divine time, right? Okay. Spirit wants me to pull 3 more cards for this, and then I'm going to end the reading, lovelies. There's a lot of energy moving around in here. Thank you, Spirit. Apple. Oh, I love that. Apple is about going through a rebirth, about allowing things that no longer work in the past to shed away, to fall away, so that new growth can happen in your life, right? Wow. And that's 58. That's 8 as well. Or 58. Sorry, that's 53. And that breaks down to 8 as well. There's 888 energy all over the place here in your reading. 5s and 8s. Change to bring about abundance. Look. The seed, which is like the Fool card. Beginnings, new beginnings, fresh new beginnings here. Crocus. Aconite. Yeah. Crocus is a 38. 10 and 11. Interesting. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. There we go. Like the stubborn crocus that endures the thickest frost to bloom, you've always managed to find that part of you that is strong and unmoving when times have been tough. This part of you is a valuable ally, okay? Try reaching for it even when you don't need it. Become familiar with it and employ its determination in your everyday life. It will only benefit you. With this strength in hand, you can achieve anything. Wow. Right? Just more about endurance, more about, it's like, recognize your own strength. Really look back and see some of the things that you have overcome. It's like seeing yourself from an outside perspective. See yourself from a divine perspective. See yourself from the people that see and acknowledge and don't minimize your value, right? That there are people out there that are looking at you, they're like, God, you're so strong. God, you're doing so much. Like, you're really pushing forward. You're getting so much done. Like, wow. And it's like, when you're in it, it's hard perhaps maybe to focus on those things, right? To focus on how strong you are being, how much progress you are making, right? Allow yourself to feel that, right? despite any mistakes or, obstacles or holdups or things that you felt like, oh, well, I wish I would have met this goal and this goal and this goal. I wish, I could have pushed myself harder. It's kind of like release and let go of that, right? Because this new birth energy with this apple here coming to you, right? Recognizing your own strength, recognizing how determined, right? And how much endurance you really do have inside of you. Yeah. It's like somebody's spirit guides are just like, I wish you could see yourself the way I see you, right? But I really feel like that's coming to you. There is a situation here where it'll be like, let me look back, right? Aconite is a scholar's plant, always hungry for knowledge and the power that comes with learning. Through its wisdom, it turns the maiden Arkan into a spider. No. uh, into a spider. Arachne. There it is. Sorry, I was like, I know. I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, it turns the maiden Arachne into a spider and taught the first werewolves the power of transformation. Okay. I thought it was a goddess that turned Arachne into a spider. You've made it as far as you can without the expertise you already possess. Now it's time to assess the gaps in your knowledge and focus on filling them in. A new class, hobby, or experience will be a renewing opportunity for you to further yourself and become a wiser you. Hmm. So yeah, and with here, that's so funny, right? With that, we talked about that during this last the full moon in Sagittarius reading, right? About how you might be finding yourself starting a new course or starting a new field of study, and then look, the arrow through the ram's skull, right? Well, that's not a ram. Uh, maybe like some kind of like antelope or something like that. Okay. Okay, so I had to laugh if I got messed up, you guys, because I was about to say, I was gonna try to say, in my head, I was thinking, well, what do you call a person that specifically studies like the skeletal structure of like bones and recognizing bones in animals? And then I almost said, I'm not a bone doctor, and I was like, that's not what I'm trying to say. But I made myself laugh, so I had to say, I'm not a bone doctor. I don't know what kind of animal this is, you guys. I'm not a bone doctor. Okay. Okay, anyway. Um okay, sorry. Anyway, uh again, but then again with the key, right? That key. It's like recognizing your own strength, recognizing how strong you are, how persistent. It's like the same cards keep coming up again and again and again. Like you're so strong, you're so persistent, you're so determined. Like recognize that in yourself, right? Somebody here needed to be told, hey, you know, it's okay that maybe you didn't fulfill all of the goals or all of the things or fulfill everybody, some other people might have had like a wish list or a goal list that they were projecting onto you, right? Sorry, sorry, excuse me. Sorry, kind of be like, well, I'm operating on my time, not your time, right? Yeah, that felt, when I said sorry, like, oh well, it felt like such a release, like, right? It's like a, right? It is kind of like this, oh well, like I am who I am. I'm on my journey, but there is kind of this, don't worry, right? There is kind of this, don't worry, it's coming, right? Everything you've been working towards, it's coming. It's okay. right? It's okay to do it in your time and not the time that everybody else puts on you. Now, I don't need anybody coming down in the comments going, well, my boss has a particular deadline. Well, that's something different. We're not exactly talking about that, right? If you have particular deadlines or particular things that you got to have in by a certain time, or, that there's cutoff times and things like that, well, yeah, you got to do it on that schedule, right? But if you've missed those deadlines, you can't go backwards. All that you can do is continue forward, right? So either get it done and turn it in or move on to the next thing, right? So there is this kind of energy. Okay, I'm really being guided. There's something here in the apple too that the spirit wants you to know. Yeah, close. Not too long ago, you set out on a path with a goal in mind. Now, after all your hard work, determination, and passion, you're close to the completion that you're so close to completion you can almost taste it. But a hitch has pushed you back a few steps, undoing some progress. Don't let frustration convince you to throw it all away. Have patience. Untangle the knot in front of you and accept the delays are inevitable. Success will be just as sweet tomorrow as it would have been today. Wow! Spirit! Okay. Okay. See, I knew there was a reason I was being guided to look up the apple specifically, because that's just it. The apple is just it. Like, hey, you might have had some setbacks. You might have had some things. Some people, yeah, oh well, right? It's okay. You will make it. You will get it. You will do it. You have, you're not weak, or you're not slow, or you're not whatever it is, whatever is kind of eating away at your confidence. Stop. I know that's way easier said than done. However, right? It's okay. Right? You are accomplishing your goals. You might not have accomplished them exactly when you wanted to, but they're coming, right? And something that might help you is to understand that, yeah, sometimes your goal list and your deadlines might be different, right, than Spirit's deadlines for you. I feel like in a few months' time that you'll look back and go, you know what? I'm glad that it came when it did and not when I wanted it to. I really feel like that's going to happen. My hair is so wet. Oh, wet. But, right? I feel like that's going to happen for you. That you're going to look back and you're going to be like really happy that something happened for you exactly when it did and not when you thought you were ready for it. Right? Not when you thought you were ready for it, but when you were actually ready for it. Oh, my bangs, they're too wet. They're my eyes. Okay. All right. I don't know why I'm screaming. Sorry, you guys. All right. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I hope that you are having I hope you had a wonderful New Year's with your friends and with your family, or just by yourself, or at work, or whatever it was that you were doing. Okay. I hope that you are, um, that you have this acceptance to the fact that you are reaching your goals, right? Yes, it might have been pushed back. The date it might not be happening on the date that you thought it would, okay? But acknowledge that it is happening, right? And that's okay. Don't let the fact that you had to endure a setback, or that it might not exactly look, or it might not have come exactly when you wanted it, take away from the fact that it has come, that it is here, that you are accomplishing your goals. Okay? Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm also thinking that some of you might watch this now, and then some of you might watch this a few months from when I release it. Okay? So that, it'll hit different a little bit, a few months from now. I feel like by like March or April, I feel like this video will probably hit different. I'm putting this out now, like really close to the first few days, and I'm kind of pre-recording, so I don't know in the first few days when it's gonna come out around the new year. But I feel like, yeah, I really feel like it's gonna hit different in a few months, right? And that, yeah, I just feel that. So hello. If you're coming from a few months in the future, I really hope that you're getting exactly what you need. Boop, boop, boop. Little kitty, what you doing? Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for being here again. Let me know if this did resonate for you down in the comment section down below. Okay. Thank you so much for everybody that does comment, for everybody that does share or like the video, that subscribes to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Okay. If you're not subscribed to the channel, think about go ahead and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. And like I said, I am hoping the best for 2022 for you. Okay. We'll keep going and we'll see where it leads us. Right. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys later. Bye.